Well, good afternoon. It's okay, you can respond. Kind of feel like I should have a shower, probably like most of you. But it's good for us to be together this afternoon as we celebrate the life of Madi Richard. My name is Mike, and I'm the pastor of the church here. And I'm here because I have been a friend through Fitz's. I've been a friend with Nadia's over the last number of years. And one day recently, as she was walking Milo, Maddie's dog, in our community, she said that she had this thing that she'd like to do for her daughter. And when she explained that to us, to my wife and I, it was kind of a no-brainer that we could offer our space. But you have to know, as I mentioned to her, is that our church is under renovation and many of our spaces are not available to you. And I said, if the sanctuary be a spot that would be okay for you, then we'd be more than welcome to open this up to you. Even though that Maddie may not have been that religious, this would be a space that we could make available to you and to your family and to her friends, and that all of our staff would be at your disposal to help make this a momentous occasion for you and especially for Maddie today. So if you're wondering how did we land in this place and why is that guy up there, that hopefully sort of settles it. I think if Nadia were here at the front speaking, she would want you to know that this is a celebration of a life. And that's why we're here. And so you're going to hear some stories, and you're going to see a slideshow in a little while that will show a little bit about her life. And so that's why we're here today. I did want to pause just as we are together just to offer a prayer. We pause in the busyness of this day to take time to focus on a daughter, a sister, a granddaughter, and a cousin, a friend. We invite you, God, to be part of this celebration of life as we remember Maddie and her family today. Amen. For those of you who are joining us virtually, we are in sweltering heat here in Ottawa. But we're in a nice air-conditioned room, and hopefully you found an air-conditioned place. Some of the music that we're going to have played today is copyrighted and will not be able to be played with a slideshow that we'll show later and to the song that the family will be exiting to. So we just want you to know that there is music, and I think for some of you a link has already been sent to you with the music, so you can be ready and have that queued up because we'll be watching that in a little while. We welcome you, and we're glad that you're part of what we're doing here today. This is a time to remember and to celebrate Maddie's life. And in a few moments, some folks will be coming to share their special memories or their memories of Maddie. And these folks, these first ones, have been asked ahead of time. But just want you to know that maybe you could get your thinking caps on, and if there's others of you that, would like to share something, just want you to know that you'll be invited after we watch the video. Just make sure I get that right. After we watch the video, you'll be invited to maybe share some of your memories and some of your recollections. So we want to let you know that time will be coming for you to be able to do that. Also, for those, just with the protocols that are in place, thank you for understanding. I should just mention this, that if you need a washroom, our washrooms are normally they would be out in the section out there. But if you just go back out through kind of where you came and just go down the stairs, and you'll find a sign there for the washrooms. Please feel free to use those if you need to. For those that will be coming to speak in a few moments, you just need to know that you don't need to wear a mask when you're up here. Just ask you not to, breathe too heavy on the mic. I'm just kidding about the microphone, but don't. I'll help you if it doesn't suit, and if it doesn't suit your height, I can adjust it for you. So just want to let you know that. So if you come up, just take your mask off, and away you go. So I'm going to ask Debbie, who's grandmother, and Kalana, who's a cousin. Is that how did I say it? Kalana. I knew there's some names here. She mentioned them to me through a mask. I'm sorry. So why don't you two come on up and you can start things off. Kalana. All right, hopefully I redeem myself.
Let's see how this goes. Hi, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Kalana, and I'm Maddie's cousin. Sorry. Maddie and I spent many summers together in Nova Scotia, and we spent the majority of our time at our Nan and Papa's. Every summer, we would get a few nights, just the two of us. Our annual cousin sleepover also included our yearly Muddy Beach trip. Muddy Beach was me and Maddie's spot, and it all started one summer afternoon in 2008, which was just supposed to be a nice walk on the beach. However, Maddie had other plans. She convinced me to start mudsliding. Mind you, we were not exactly in mudsliding outfits. We were in shorts and t-shirts. And Nan and Papa were definitely not prepared, but they let us go anyway. After hours of mudsliding, it was time to go. Me and Maddie hopped in the car, head to toe, covered in mud. And if any of you know Mike Vandenhoff, you can imagine how happy he was about that. Years went on, and every cousin sleepover, we went back to Muddy Beach. And when it came time, Maddie's sister, Raina, got to join in our traditions. She was definitely a bit skeptical about the whole mudsliding thing, but the pros showed her how it was done. Maddie went first, and then me quickly following. And on that first slide of Raina's first Muddy Beach trip, I sliced my stomach on a rock. But it's kind of funny to think about now, because never once did we worry about shells or rocks, but of course the one time we tried to show somebody our special spot, one of us got hurt. There's actually a picture that shows how defeated I am with this cut. Maddie has her hands on her hips, one foot on my back, with the most I am the best face on. Me, I'm face down in the mud, starfished. She was the mudsliding queen, of course. After covering Papa's car every year, we would go back to the house and swim. I don't know how many hours we spent jumping in the pool, making up fake ratings, depending on our mood, and doing handstand competitions. Muddy Beach will forever be me and Maddie's special spot. And who knew that what was supposed to be a nice walk on the beach would have turned into a yearly tradition and a lifetime of memories. Our cousin sleepovers were what I looked forward to most every summer, and Maddie will always be my mud queen.
Good afternoon, everyone. For the past 16 months, each of us here, as well as those joining us online, have grieved Maddie and have sought healing, each in our own way. I have found comfort in tending to my flowers, feeding the many birds that visit our property, and reading and writing poetry. The poem I chose to share with you today resonated with me, as it not only speaks of grief, but the courage to move forward with our lives. The poem was written by Paul Lawrence Dunbar and is entitled "The Call of the Lark." Night is for sorrow, and dawn is for joy, chasing the troubles that fret and annoy, darkness for sighing, and daylight for song, cheery and chase the strain, heartfelt and strong. All the night through, though I moan in the dark, I wake in the morning to sing with the lark. Deep in the midnight, the rain whips the leaves, softly and sadly, the wood spirit grieves. But when the first hue of dawn tints the sky, I shall shake out my wings like the birds and be dry. And though like the raindrops I grieved through the dark, I shall wake in the morning and sing with the lark. On the high hills of heaven, some morning to be, where the rain shall not grieve through the leaves of the tree. There my heart will be glad for the pain I have known. For my hand will be clasped in the hand of your own. And though life has been hard and death's pathway's been dark, I shall wake in the morning and sing with the lark.
I'd like to use this microphone instead of my headset. Is that okay? That's okay? Okay, good. The next person is coming to speak, and then following her will be Kara. But the first one, Kiera? The first one is Veneranda. Yeah, great. I think I might have to adjust the mic for you.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Veneranda. Madi and I met 6 years ago working at McDonald's. I still remember the first day we met, when I soaked the entire kitchen trying to teach her how to use the mop station, which I had never used a day in my life before then, but I wasn't going to admit that. We immediately became work friends, gossiping about customers and our personal lives, putting on different accents in the drive-thru for our own entertainment, and switching shifts to work together, making things a toddler could do a two-person task, because why not? It didn't matter how much our managers tried to separate us, we always found a way to entertain ourselves. But this friendship wasn't meant to be temporary. And soon we were quitting McDonald's together, heading to university, and spending almost all our free time together. Over the next 5 years, Madi and I became best friends and made incredible memories and countless inside jokes together. Whether we were sitting at home on the couch, eating our body weight of all-you-can-eat sushi, or ball hopping in Montreal, I knew I would be having a good time because we were doing it together. I can honestly say there are few people that have walked into my life and changed it forever. Whether Madi knew it or not, she has impacted me a lot over the years, and I feel very lucky to be able to carry on a little piece of her. Madi showed me the value of friendship and what it meant to have chosen family. And for that, I will forever be grateful.
Thank you. Hello. Many of you may not know who I am or many details about me, but I'm here today to tell you what Madi meant to me. Like for anyone, graduating high school and starting the next step in your life at a big university can be scary. Most of us don't know anyone, and trying to make friends in classes of 400 people seem next to impossible. Well, that wasn't the case for Madi and I. And for most people, walking into a psychology class for first year of university with that many people would think to just, sit at the back of the class and observe. However, I remember sitting in the second row amongst hundreds because I wanted to make sure the teacher knew exactly who I was and not get distracted. Well, I remember seeing a girl in the very first row, as eager as ever to learn as much details as she could. Every time the professor asked her a question, she'd raise her hand high and bright because she knew the answer. I remember thinking to myself how she's so smart and dedicated to school, and then I had to get to know her. Well, Mission Impossible turned to Mission Possible very quickly. She introduced herself to me as Madi, and as soon as that girl and I started talking, it was game over for the world. Little comments to one another in class, to asking her questions, became hanging out after school, to getting the same friends, jobs, and tattoos. You try your whole life to find someone who truly understands you and who doesn't question your weirdness and just accepts you as who you are. Well, Madi was that person to me. Madi was my soulmate best friend. I looked up to Madi. She was the smartest and prettiest girl. She was so hardworking too, getting to her assignments done 2 weeks ahead of time and working 20 hours a week at her job on top of that. Maddie and I became inseparable, and I mean inseparable. She introduced me to her friends, who easily became my friends, and I introduced her to my friends, who just as easily became her friends too, because she was so outgoing and lovable. And that turned into making sure we took all the same classes together, and if that wasn't enough, we also got the same jobs as one another and drove all around the city together. We went out on weekends together, we slept over together, we got ready together, we went to festivals together, we even got our initials tattooed together. I guess what I'm trying to say here today is, to me, Maddie and I's friendship was one in a lifetime type of friendship, a friendship that people can only dream of having. I wanted to grow old with Maddie and to make so many memories with her. I miss her so much every day, and I wish she could laugh and party with me like the good old days. Maddie, I know you're watching over me like you always did, because you were so caring and always wanted the best for everyone and to always make sure everyone was okay. I hope that other people in this world have half the kind heart that you had, because if they do, this world will be such a better place. I know the world was a brighter place with you in it, and life will continue to be a bright place for me because I was not only lucky enough to know you, but to be able to call you my best friend. I forevermore love you, Maddie, and the memories we shared. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to prepare those and come and share those. I find that, and maybe you have too if you've experienced this before, where when individuals share their tribute or their eulogy, it gives us a small snapshot of a person's life. And so thank you for doing that. So some others of you may be thinking about what it would be that you would share, and in a few moments or in a bit, you'll have opportunity if you wish to come up, and we'll try to organize it however if you wish. I do have one other tribute that needs to be read, and that's for Christina, who was Maddie's aunt and godmother. Unfortunately, at the last minute, was not able to join us today, but I've been asked to read her eulogy her tribute that she's written out. So, in a nutshell, Maddie was amazing, but you already know that. I always thought of Maddie as an old soul and a Renaissance woman. She excelled at pretty much everything she set out to do. One fond memory I have of Maddie is from our wedding day. It seemed there were 1,000,001 things to get done, and unlike Maddie would have done, we had left some of those things until the last minute. We needed someone to decorate all the tables for us with the unassembled centerpieces, and someone to help get things prepped between the ceremony and reception. I knew that then the 15-year-old Maddie was the right person for the job. I asked, and she enthusiastically accepted. Dave and I were so relieved knowing that Maddie would take charge and do the best job without any direction, and of course she did. I most admired Maddie's determination, her pursuit of excellence, and her ability to get things done. There are so many stories of Maddie passing in school assignments early and getting the best marks in her classes. There's no doubting that Maddie was intelligent, but what always impressed me most was her work ethic. She worked hard, she was organized, she was disciplined, and it showed. In this way, I aspire to be more like Maddie. I'm thankful for the times we spent together, and I'll forever cherish my memories with Maddie, like treating her to her first late-night Montreal poutine, or watching her excitement as she tried dog sledding for the first time, or holding her in front of the biggest Christmas tree we've ever had on her first Christmas. As the poet Thomas Campbell said, "To live in hearts we leave behind is not to die, and in this way, Maddie will live forever." So that was Christina. Just have a couple other announcements that I want to give to you. And that is that Nadia would like to invite those of you who are able to return back to the park near her house. Many of you will already know where that is, but if you don't, basically you go out the parking lot, make a left, and go down 2 streets, make a left, and the park is on the left. And that's where this event will be taking place. If you're not able to attend, so afterwards, if you kind of want to make your way out and down there, you can head right on that way if you wish. And those of you who are not able to go and would like to catch up with Nadia, she'll be out circulating for a little while before she heads off to that area as well. Also just want you to know that there will be some food, wonderful food that's comes from Fitz's. So after the celebration, head over that way. Also, perhaps you've already noted, if you've been to the web page, you would have noted that donations, the family would like for you to know that if you wish to make a donation, there's 2 places that you can. There's other places you can as well, but there's 2 links on the web page where you can go. Those of you who are watching, if you want to go there, you can make a donation to Arlington Woods, this church, or you can make it to the Ottawa Humane Society. There are those links where you can do that online. If you're here today and you'd like to make a donation, the envelopes are at the back. If you're making it to the Humane Society, it needs to go through them. So there's an envelope there. Just fill out the information and you would send that off. If it's to Arlington Woods, just fill out the envelope with directions and just place it in the offering plate, the plate that's at the back there. That would be great. At this time, there is a slide presentation, a video presentation that's been made, and we're going to play that now. Well, thank you, Nadia, for putting that together and the music that went with it. Not having had the opportunity to have met Madi, it certainly has given me a glimpse into her life. And for many of you, you saw your pictures up on the big screen, so your faces. We did want to provide an opportunity for anybody else that would like just to, if you had something you'd like to say, to give you an opportunity to do that. So we will open up the microphone for you to do that, to come up, and if not, then we will draw things to a close. But if you'd like to come and share, then I want you to know that. If you just come up on either side, and then you can come up.
Hi there. I don't know I don't know many of you, but my name's Devin, and I went to high school with Madi. From about grade 9 to grade 12, we were super close friends, and it was definitely, hard finding out, and it's I'm happy to see familiar faces, and I'm glad to see that so many people loved and cared for her, and even myself, I think back of like the close friendship we had at a time, and the different explorations we went on, and going over to her house or her coming over to mine for a swim, and just just having a great time together. And I don't know what else to say, but I definitely did love and cherish her, and I'm sad to see that she's gone. Thank you.
I'm Caitlin. Madi and I also went to high school together. I was kind of thinking of my favorite memories of Madi, and I always remembered when we would be in a class together, it was perfect because we knew that we would both simultaneously be teachers' pets as well as terrorize every teacher we had by insisting that they had to improve our marks because we deserved better. And Mr. Busato was our best victim. He was our grade 10 English teacher, and Madi and I got the same grade on every single test, every single essay. And on the tests, we wouldn't only get the same grade, we'd get the same questions wrong. So that just gave us all the ammo to say, hey, listen, we both got it wrong, so clearly it wasn't right. And Madi was always my best person that I could count on to come argue any teacher for me. And we went to Costa Rica together, and that was one of the first times I had been out of the country and gone on any sort of adventure, and I wouldn't have been able to do it if Madi hadn't have done it with me. And she kind of set sails for me to go on other adventures, and I will always be grateful for that.
Hi everybody, my name's Caroline, and I had the absolute privilege of calling Madi my best friend throughout most of high school. We met in grade 8 when she first moved here from Alberta, and I remember a mutual friend in our class was like, we should be friends with her, and very quickly we became fast friends. For anyone who's ever been a young person, I'm gonna sound insufferable to my past self right now, but being a teenager is such an emotionally heightened experience where everything you do is the most important thing in the world, and the relationships that you have at that time are the great loves of your life. And I feel really fortunate that I knew Madi in the years that I did. We really liked to imagine ourselves as iconic, as a duo who could do everything together, whether it was, pursuing academic excellence or joining each other in different clubs. She joined student council along with me. I joined Ultimate Frisbee with her for about 2 weeks, and then I left because I wasn't cut out for it. And really, like, she's the platonic ideal of a best friend in my mind, right? It's kind of a high that I've been chasing ever since, the feeling of belonging and love that she was able to imbue. And it really warms my heart to hear the stories of people who knew her after I did, and hear that they felt the exact same love and energy and had that same deep, deep admiration for just how amazing she was. When I was in grade 11, I had to make a magazine as a school project, and I chose to make it centered around like academic excellence, and I made her my cover story. I was completely enamored with her, and I still am, and I'm really grateful that we were all here to share these memories today, so thank you.
Madi's short life was legend. Wait for it. She would have reincarnated and killed me herself if I hadn't done something like that. So we'll let that one stew. I didn't prepare anything to say about her, partly because I feel like I just wouldn't have been able to do her justice. And at the same time, I've been, I recently got into this thing called seek discomfort. And it's this principle that the best things in life happen when you go out of your comfort zone. And you just do it. And I never got the chance to show her this cool thing I found, but I feel like it's something she already believed, but would have embraced just the same. And on that principle, I was sitting there and I thought, I have to come up, I have to say something. And so this is it. Like I said, I don't know if I could really do justice by talking about my life with her and growing up with her and anything like that, but you all know her too, and she was kick-ass. So, dairy. Her life was legendary.
Tributes are never meant to only be kept here, but they are meant for us to share these on a regular basis with the people that we love, the people that we care for. You have the opportunity, as Madi has left her handprint, her footprint, whatever kind of print you want to say on your lives. You have the opportunity to make the difference in someone's life. And so the many lessons that are to be learned through this, may each of us have the ability to assimilate them. Things we've heard today and the things that you know, especially about Madi and her family. Take those things and plant them firmly in your minds. Someone in the Bible said this. I'm not going to preach. It's just easy. I know we're in a church and I'm a preacher, a pastor. I'm not going to preach. But I want to remind us, he said this, whatever's true, whatever's honorable, whatever's just, whatever's pure, whatever's lovely, whatever's gracious, if there's any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Let the shortcomings of one another's lives begin to drift away. Jesus said this, come unto me, all you who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. He says, cast your cares on me because I care for you. Don't feel that you're alone today. If you ever have those feelings of feeling alone, share that with somebody. Reach out to somebody. I'm going to ask us to stand and we're going to draw things to a close. I'm going to pray and then I'll make my way down and then the family will exit out through basically the same way they came in. And that will conclude our time together. So let's stand together. Father, you know what this family has gone through over their lifetime, and you know the journey that they've had over this last year. I don't know them well, but we come alongside them. And when each person comes along each other person's life to encourage and to celebrate a precious daughter and friend. It's always difficult to say goodbye to someone, but especially someone so young. We pray that you would support and sustain those who gather here and those who are viewing virtually, those who are online. If there are lessons to be learned, help us to learn them well. Help us to be gentle with one another and to be gentle on ourselves. I pray that you would be with them now and forevermore. Amen.